Tonight's all about a week last year that I had to split for a little bit, Pee-wee. It's weird to think you weren't even here then, but it's also awesome to realize how good life can change in less than a year. Pee-wee says, "Get to it, boy."
I said you'll have fun, and I won't disappoint you.
Welcome, fellow Kiss fans. Welcome to It's All For You Demons, celebrating the fun of being a Kiss fan, and the fun we are celebrating tonight is fun we had last December. Kiss Army Spain's brand new book, The Last Kiss at the Garden, December 1st and 2nd, 2023, is out. And let me tell you, this book is a must-have. If you were at the Madison Square Garden shows, must-have in general, because you need a commemorative take-home from that show. The band's not going to put one out. Kiss Army Spain did, and they did it tremendously. And also, if you weren't at the Madison Square Garden show, maybe you bought the pay-per-view, you still need this. And lastly, if you weren't at the Madison Square Garden show and you didn't watch the pay-per-view, you still need this, because this is a tremendous Kiss book. This is the kind of product that Kiss themselves should be putting out. They don't, so it's made by fans. And let me tell you, Mauricio, Javier, and Alex did a fantastic freaking job with this book. I love this book from beginning to end. Blew my mind. I was expecting something good. I got something great. So let's take a look at it tonight. I don't want to show the whole book because I don't want to ruin it for you, and this does belong in your collection, but we are going to highlight some of my favorite moments of this book, because December 1st and 2nd, 2023 were a fantastic time, and I can't even imagine how awesome it's going to be able to thumb through this book December 1st and 2nd, 2024, and reminisce on how much fun we had last year watching our favorite band end. Odd to say that's fun. Man, it was a good time. Now, I ordered the book from Kiss Army Spain, and in doing so, I became a Kiss Army Spain member, which is cool because I'm all about fanzines, fan clubs. So, cool little card with the end of the road on the front, and on the back, the Kiss Army Spain 2024. I am a member of a club. You would have told me when I was 19 years old that you're going to join a Kiss fan club. I would have smiled to the end of the day, because seeing all those fanzines and fan clubs and the Hot in the Shade liner notes, I never put pen to paper and never took action on that. But never give up, because your dreams and your wishes can come true when you're 50 years old. It also comes with a super cool poster of the cover. Kiss Army Spain logo down there. Paul standing above the garden. Such a cool shot. And lastly is the book. Heavy, thick, 183 pages, full color, so freaking awesome. This is a coffee table book that belongs in your collection, because the end of the road was so special. I know it went on forever, and I know it was supposed to end at a certain time, and then COVID hit, and it ended in 2023, and it was just kind of meleeed with weird opening acts and then a cool opening act, and it was just, there was a lot of drama to the end of the road. But if you think back, it was our last time to see Kiss on a tour, and this book captures those final shows so perfectly and so beautifully. Now, I'm not sure why I do this. Whenever I get a book or a magazine, I always open it up from the back first, which is weird, but it was a pleasant surprise to see this. Just such a cool picture of Madison Square Garden and the Kiss logo. That really warmed my heart and made me realize we were on to some good stuff. At the very beginning, there is a great write-up from Kiss Army Spain to members of the Kiss Army. Warms your heart, makes you realize we are all one. This is one big family, and this is a good time to be a Kiss fan. Forward by Bill Starkey. Then it goes into the road that led to the garden. A lot of the backstory. Remember back when they first announced when the end of the road show was going to be? We were all excited. Then we all got those shirts that said, "Stay home." Which you have to admit now is kind of the oddest most fun Kiss shirt to have, because it was so weird to think that literally back then we were all, under lockdown and couldn't go anywhere and no more concerts, right? Well, it was fun to get this shirt and have it say stay at home. No dates at all. That's kind of memorable. I'm glad I bought this because weird time, cool merch. Goes into all of the stage used instruments you could buy if you could empty out your 401k and take a loan out on your house, I guess. That stuff is super cool, but that's just way out of my price range. And then the announcement of the Kiss Week that was going to take place, the pop-up store, the taxis, all of that fun stuff, the Rangers game, digital ads, the pizza place. Here's all the Rip and Dip shirts. We didn't get to go to the Rip and Dip. There was kind of just too much to do, and so we did miss out on some stuff. The Rip and Dip shirts are super cool. Back when Paul told us he was sick and he had to cancel those shows, everybody started freaking out. And then here's the Garden merch. That was a fun day. I remember running when they opened the Garden, and Detroit Rock Cece was in there. Got to meet her and George from George's Kiss Collection. They were in there. Got to meet them while shopping for merch. That was pretty cool. And that was the fun thing of this whole week. If you followed Kiss people, you were more than likely going to run into them there. And that was super cool, super fun. This is pretty awesome. All of the pics from the tour. And on those final nights, the road crew made up pics that looked like the 76, 77 Rock and Roll Over tour. And they were just the pics with their name printed on the back, and Simmons had the little $sign. Well, our ringleader, Chuck, who I refer to as Rod Smallwood, Maiden's manager, because he pulls off the unthinkable. He collects guitar picks and has a massive collection of guitar picks, some Van Halen picks you just would not believe. But through his guitar pick collection, was able to come upon some of these picks. There's the Gene Simmons pick, the Paul Stanley, Tommy Thayer, and Eric Singer. My jaw hit the ground when he sent those picks to us, but then seeing them here in this book and reading about all the picks from the show, even cooler. And I love those white pearl picks. Those are beauties. Gets into the Rangers game. We couldn't go to the Rangers game. Tickets were just too expensive, and I believe the game was the night we actually flew in, so it was just kind of pandemonium going on. But we even tried to go to the Rangers store to get merch because Chuck, again, giant hockey fan, and he wanted a jersey. We get to the store, everything sold out. Fucking resellers. I tell ya, they were everywhere. They were like vultures on New York City. Most of us are there to have fun, get some cool stuff. Some people have to ruin it for everyone. Rant over, but Electric Lady Studios with Gene, if you got to go do that, you're featured in here somewhere. That would have been a tremendous experience as well. And then we get into like magazines, articles, all about the end of the road and the road to Madison Square Garden. Elaine Belice's newsletter, Kiss in Japan, did a big issue on the end of the road. I met Elaine there at the pop-up store. Super nice guy. This is his newsletter. Super cool to see him featured in this book as well. It's got a lot of magazine stuff. An interview with Sharni that makes the cool shirts. She made that Love Gun shirt I have with the giant 74 logo on it. I love that shirt. And then we get into the beginning of the Kiss Week. And this is where the juice is from me in this book, because this week was so much fun. I was there with 3 of my best friends, and to be there with Dan, started this whole journey with Dan, saw my first show with Dan, Hot in the Shade, 1991. And to be at the final Kiss show with Dan, not to mention the Kiss show, but have a Kiss Week. Not just like a Kiss Week we were making. An actual Kiss Week produced by Kiss was fucking amazing. And this book starts it off. Thursday, November 30th. I mean, we were there. We were smiling with all of these people. This is such a cool freaking book. All of the New York Post stuff, the Empire State Building that did not go off correctly. I don't care what Kiss said online that night. We were watching it online, and what was happening online was not happening on the building. So, boom, there you go. It was cool that you guys were up there and turned on the lights, but it didn't go off the way you said it did. The pop-up store. Whew. One of the best days of my life. If for nothing else, the Paul Stanley Dynasty freaking costume.
Perfect.
Here is the line out front. Oh man, we were there way at the back of this line. That was a long wait. Probably a good 4-hour wait we stood in line, I want to say. But it was so much fun. The Swatch store, we went there that night too. Another long line, but you know, the long lines may have pissed people off, but to me it was all part of the experience. Like, we're only gonna have a Kiss week once. We're gonna stand in line, and standing in line for Kiss is fun because we live for this stuff. I had fun at the Swatch night. Of course, they talk about the shows, the actual show, December 1st. I had more fun at the December 1st show than I did the 2nd. Still enjoyed them both, but the December 1st show felt more real. You could sense emotion the first night, I thought. And first night was pretty big to me. A fan with a balloon. Rod Smallwood, our own very Chuck, caught a balloon. He could not get it to deflate. So luckily, we had the large Marge Pee-wee buttons. And we popped that son of a bitch. Thank you, large Marge, because we realized during that show we could utilize you to pop Chuck's balloon so he could take it home. I'm glad of any of us, the one person to get a balloon was Chuck. Makes me super happy that it was him. Very cool shots of Madison Square Garden. The lucky people who were buying instruments. These cool ass posters they had. I didn't buy these just because I was probably trying to save my money for something. I don't know what I was trying to save my money for, but I didn't buy these. Do I regret it? I don't know. But super cool posters nonetheless. All the backstage passes from night one. The Kiss Army Spain after show party at the Hard Rock. Another super cool shot, man. Kiss shows. Very fun. We're gonna miss these people, that's for sure. Saturday night show, December 2nd. All the backstage passes from night 2. I believe that is the one John 5's wearing in that famous picture of him and Gene, last picture in makeup. And he got probably the last picture of Gene with makeup on. Of course, John 5 would pull that off. But that's super cool. He's a fan. We're all fans. And yes, that is the pass John 5 was wearing. There's a fan with John 5. The Night 2 cool poster. The Eric Singer Final Night snare drum. A very cool write-up on the gold bars. And they actually go into the catastrophe that the gold bars were and how it was intended to be carried out and how that intent was thrown out the window. And this was the biggest botch job I've ever seen Kiss do in my life. But the gold bars were cool, and if you were lucky enough to get one leaving the arena, that's a keepsake, alright. Not worth the money people are selling them for on eBay, but still a cool keepsake. And the minute we walked out of the arena with our gold bars, I did look up on eBay and there was already one up. So somebody had left the arena and literally snapped a picture of that thing and put that on eBay right away. Freaking ripoffs. But nonetheless, super cool little write-up from Matt Porter from the Kiss Room on his experience. So just a lot of cool stuff in this book. And like I said, if you went to the New York shows, either one, you have to have this book. If you went to the End of the Road, you have to have this book. or if you just like Kiss. It's a great book, a great read. They go into a lot of detail about these shows, about, like I said, the botched golden tickets. They talk about the avatars, good or bad, if you liked them or not. It's all in here, and it's all good stuff. And even cooler is this last section, the Kiss Army, all the fans. This is fun, and even more fun. Let's look at these two handsome sons of bitches right there, Rick Howard and Danny Thompson. Two handsome sons of bitches at their final Kiss show. And again, if you would have told me when I was 19 years old, hey, you and Dan are gonna be in a freaking Kiss book, I would have said you can kill me now, because the thought of that is a dream come true. Danny and I are in a fucking Kiss book. That's all I can say, and the smile on my face says it all. I am blessed just to be a part of the event, even more blessed to be a part of this book. Kiss Army Spain, bless you guys. This is a beauty. I love it. You all need to pick this up. Well worth it. So thank you for hanging with us tonight and waxing a little rock and roll nostalgia here with us in the Wax Night house. Nobody really has moved much. Pee-wee is sawing logs, and we are waxing nostalgia. Be good to your babies. Spay, neuter, microchip. Take care. Be safe. We will talk to you soon. Little man says, no thank you today. Toodaloo, everyone.
I said you